The timing of that, I was just, sorry. He poked his tongue out.
Okay.
Caught it.
Okay. Chair, fellow speakers, and guests. I'm going to tell you the story of a remarkable landmark. A landmark that has been shaped by a vast ocean, by immense tectonic forces, and by mighty glacial movement. I don't know if you guess what it is, but this is the story of the Ridgeway. A wondrous national trail, 87 miles in length, travelling from this county of Wiltshire all the way to Buckinghamshire. I will describe the dramatic forces that form the Ridgeway. I will reveal how the trail has allowed the first humans to settle in Britain. And finally, I will celebrate with you the fact that this marvellous asset is bestowed upon us in Wiltshire. So the genesis of the Ridgeway is actually older than the island of Britain. What is now southern England, where you're sitting, was once the bottom of an immense ocean. The tiny fossil skeletons of primitive sea life. Lost my track. In the period from 100 million years to 60 million years ago, not to this day, but would be compressed and melded into the thick chalk layer on the ocean bed. 30 million years ago, Britain would emerge as the tectonic plates, the African plate and the European continental plate collided, and this tectonic action caused the chalk bed to flip up on its side and create a chalk ridge across what is now southern England. So over the past 2 million years, periods of glaciation pushed and shaped and sculpted the Ridgeway into the form it is today. So over a period of 100 million years, these stupendous oceanic, tectonic and glacial forces have fashioned the marble that is today's Ridgeway. Now, enter the humans. The last ice age came to an end 12,000 years ago, opening up Britain to human exploration. At this time, Britain was connected to Europe via a land bridge on what is now the North Sea. It's a land bridge linking Britain with continental Europe. And Norfolk was the point of entry. With the climate warming, an impregnable, dense forest took root across southern England. And underfoot, it was mostly swamp. So that was the character of England back then. But the earliest human visitors to England, or to Britain, these people were tenacious, they were adventurous, they were inventive, and these would be the first Britons. So these peoples would, over time, forge a route into Britain's interior. They would arrive at a hill, and that hill is known today as Ivanhoe Beacon. I don't know if anyone's been to Ivanhoe Beacon in Buckinghamshire. And Ivanhoe Beacon is the eastern tip of the Ridgeway. On the Ridgeway, the tree cover is more sparse, and going on the foot is firm. The Ridgeway would ease these people's journey across England, and in so doing would enable the settlement of these islands. So Britain's first road had been formed. In time, these hunter-gatherers would give way to settled communities. These communities would fashion the great monuments of Avebury. They would carve the chalk that would create the galloping white horse of Ockington. And then they'd be followed by invading Saxons, invading Vikings, marching their way across the Ridgeway, bent on conquest. And the pivotal battles in the history of our nation would be fought on the Ridgeway, even nearby at Barbury Castle. By the Middle Ages, medieval shepherds, they were known as drovers, would drive large herds of livestock from Wales and the West Country all the way to the home counties across the Ridgeway. So for 10,000 years, more than 10,000 years, humans travelled the Ridgeway, be they hunters, be they adventurers, be they drovers, or be they invaders. Now, the Ridgeway is a place of recreation and contemplation. The Ridgeway was designated as a national trail in 1972. In the same year, the landscape around the Ridgeway was protected by legislation. 2 areas of outstanding national beauty, or AOBs, were designated. The western stretch of the Ridgeway was within the northwest of Stour's AOB, and this stretch was characterised by its open, expansive, downland nature, and the views on this stretch can be spectacular. The eastern stretch travels through the Chilterns AOB, and the character of the stretch is quite different. It's more intimate as the Ridgeway travels through the Chiltern Hills. And these 2 halves are dissected by the River Thames at the midpoint of the Ridgeway. So this backdrop attracts walkers, it attracts runners, cyclists, horse riders. So they come for the stunning views, but the pool of the Ridgeway is deeper than the views. The history resonates. You can feel the wonder. It's truly a mystical place, even some would say a sacred place. So, to conclude, the Ridgeway has been shaped over millions of years by the raising of a prehistoric ocean, by the colliding of great continents, and by the mighty force of glacial movement. The Ridgeway has been a place of human expedition and discovery. It has enabled the settlement of Britain and its subsequent conquest. It is now a place of recreation. So I urge you to pay the Ridgeway a visit, and my recommendation would be to be there at dawn or at dusk. The experience will be heightened at these times. So I would invite you to contemplate your surroundings, savour the views, and marvel at the history that is under your feet.